you're not aware, this Wednesday is Mean Girls Day, aka October 3rd, aka it actually falls on a Wednesday, therefore we must wear pink. So in preparation for this national holiday, not a national holiday, I've been getting tons and tons of requests for a Mean Girls character tutorial. Everyone's basically been saying like, are you gonna do Regina or Karen or Katie? So I thought about it for a really long time. And then I was like, psych, I'm gonna do Janis. Question of the day, who is your favorite Mean Girls character? Let me know in the comments down below. I'd say if we're going off of the musical, Gretchen might be my favorite. I absolutely love what Ashley Park has done with the role. If you're new here, hit subscribe to join our theater cult. Yep, we're a cult. But without any further ado, let's get into this Janis tutorial and let's deep dive in on Mean Girls the musical.
Hey, check it out, friends. It's me and my naked face, back with another character tutorial. Hey, hi there. To kick things off, we're going to prime our eyes using a black eyeliner pencil. You're going to want to make sure that this eyeliner is like a crayon or cream formula, something that won't hurt or pull at the delicate skin around your eyes. We will be cleaning up this shape and this line a little bit later, so feel free to get a little messy with it. Like, it doesn't need to be exact because, again, we will be going in and cleaning up that shape later on. For eyeshadow, I'm going to take this Makeup Forever palette, and I'm going to be using that dark emerald shade in the center, and I'm going to place that everywhere where we put the eyeliner. Because we used a dark base, it's going to give the eyeshadow a lot of dimension, and it's going to make it really interesting looking. This is a great way to work in a jewel tone into a smoky eye if you're a little nervous about doing full black shadow, and because we're working with such dark colors, I'd really recommend doing your eyeshadow before doing your face makeup. That way, if there's any fallout, which there probably will be, it'll be much easier to clean up and you won't have to redo your foundation. Now I'm going to take Tokyo Tea by Morphe, and I'm going to swipe that onto my inner corner and on the lid with a clean fingertip, and then I'm going to blend it out with the original brush that still has a lot of that first product on it. So something that really drew me to do Janis as the October 3rd character tutorial is her overall look. I think it's so interesting. Real quick, I'm going to take a makeup wipe to remove the excess eyeshadow and shape it into the shape that I want it. So I recently realized how interesting Janis's wig is. She's not just brunette, and her hair isn't dyed black like it is in the movie. It's untreated, brassy, dyed blonde with brown roots and an undercut. That means that at one point Janis dyed her hair blonde and made the conscious decision to let her natural regrowth come back in. And if that's not symbolism for nonconformity and character development, I don't know what is. For highlight, I'm going to take Foxy from the Naked 2 palette, and I'm going to put that all over the brow bone. First, I'm going to swipe down a layer of concealer so the shadow has something to stick to. In an interview, Barrett the fan fave actress who, of course, originated Janis on Broadway, talked a little bit about her look as Janis. She wanted Janis to look good despite not feeling entirely put together on the inside. Ooh, and the group chat is blowing up. Sorry about that. So I think it's really interesting that Barrett specifically brought that up because this entire show is about appearances. The entire show is about people feeling like they don't fit in and, you know, finding their place. Where do they belong? So I think that's really interesting that Barrett specifically feels like Janis doesn't belong. Which, of course, yeah, she's an artsy outsider, but she has her art freaks. She has her little group of friends. But of course, in high school, there were plenty of times where I felt like I didn't belong, even though I was, like, president of the drama club, on the improv team, the lead in all the shows. Like, I had a bunch of friends, and I still definitely felt awkward a lot of the time. I think it's something everyone kind of relates to. I'm gonna throw on a quick coat of mascara, and it really doesn't matter what kind you use because I'm about to throw on some really, really huge, fluffy lashes. Because of that, I actually decided to skip the liner, which is something that I rarely do, and instead I'm going to put on some more of that lime green bright electric eyeshadow, and I'm really going to concentrate that on the lid and the inner corner to just kind of bring some light back into my eyes and add some dimension. Something I really loved is how modernized the looks and the overall tone of the show is. It was the first show I saw on Broadway or otherwise where the actors portraying high school kids were actually dressed like high school kids, with the exception, of course, of the plastics. I think it's going to be really interesting going forward, you know, in 5 years from now, 10 years from now, to see how the costume design changes or not in subsequent productions of Mean Girls. I've had this thought a lot about shows like Legally Blonde and In the Heights, where the fashion and the costume design is so clearly inspired by the early mid-2000s, which is when the show premiered. So at the time it was considered modern and present day, but because people keep taking costume inspiration from those original productions, they almost feel more like period pieces. Let me know what you think about that in the comments down below, because I've been thinking about that a lot. For foundation, we're going to take the Maybelline Fit Me foundation in shade 110 Porcelain, and we're going to buff that out using a Real Techniques foundation brush. For concealer, we're taking Maybelline Fit Me in shades 15 and 20. We're going to blend that out using a damp beauty blender, and we're just going to put that basically wherever you want concealer. Dark circles, blemishes, imperfections, whatever you want. Go ahead and set that all in with some loose powder. Now I'm going to grab a white eyeliner and kind of this cool green teal color eyeliner. For the white, I'm going to just put that in the waterline to make my eyes appear a little bit bigger and a little bit brighter. And then I'm going to take the green and underline the bottoms of my eyes and blend out that liner with the shadow brush from earlier. Something I think that's really interesting is Janis's sexuality in the movie versus the musical. In the movie, it's kind of implied that Janis ends up with Kevin G, but in the musical, it's left really ambiguous. And in interviews, Barrett has said that she's playing Janis as a lesbian. It's not mentioned in the script, it's not mentioned in the story, and it doesn't really affect her characterization. Like, when I saw the show, I didn't realize that Barrett was playing her. Gosh darn it, I'm so sorry, my phone keeps going off. But like the way that Barrett played her, I couldn't tell that she was supposed to be a lesbian. Like, she was just a character who also happened to like girls. Which I would love to hear your opinion on this, because I don't know, it's kind of like a weird area that I just realized as I was making this video. I'm very much in the camp that we need more LGBTQ plus characters that have arcs outside of their sexuality. So what I was originally going to say is that I thought it was kind of neat that Janis had an arc outside of her sexuality. But you don't even realize that her sexuality is part of who she is. And that's not on the scriptwriter's fault, and that's not, you know, anybody's fault, because it's not implicitly written in her character. It's just part of Barrett's characterization. But if you can't tell that a character identifies as something else other than straight, is it representation? I don't know, man. I'm just having like this weird existential crisis. I was just in the middle of doing a makeup tutorial and now I'm questioning everything. Let me know in the comments down below. Also, I got totally sidetracked on the analysis and forgot to tell you what I was doing to my face. Basically, I'm just gonna do blush, bronzer, highlighter, contour, all that good stuff. I showed you what I'm using, and I'm just gonna put that on the places on my face where I usually put those things. I'm a beauty guru. No, I'm not. Overall, I'm a pretty big fan of Mean Girls the musical. I really enjoyed it. I got a chance to see it right before summer started, and I've done a couple of videos on it. I did like a full review if you want to see my thoughts on the show, and I also reacted to the soundtrack if you want to see my in-depth analysis of the music. Mean Girls just kind of means a lot to me as a story, both as a musical and the movie. It sounds kind of silly, but Mean Girls was the first time that I realized growing up that girls were allowed to be funny, and this really impacted me as a person, a performer, a comedy writer. If you guys didn't know, I go to school as a television production major, and I'm just really inspired by all of Tina Fey's work. Reintroducing the love of my life, I love you, the Glossier Boy Brow. This is my all-time favorite ride or die eyebrow product. I wear it in the shade black, and I wear it every single day. I cannot recommend this enough. I am so in love with it. If you ever want to try it or anything else by Glossier, I have a discount link down below. It saves you money, and it helps support the geeky content that I make here on the internet, so thank you in advance. To melt everything together, I'm going to use the Glossier Soothing Face Mist. I love adding in this step if I feel like I'm wearing a lot of makeup, because this kind of helps blend everything together and it makes it sit a little more natural on your skin.
I'm back! Ha 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 ha! I am loving this. I threw on a whole bunch of necklaces. I have 2 chokers and then this kind of like dog tag sort of thing. A whole bunch of rings. I braided my hair back with a little Dutch braid to kind of do a half-shaved kind of look. Undercut? But if it's on the side, is it an undercut? I don't know hair things. For lips, I'm going to use a combination of Smashbox's Fig and Witchy. Some very dark shades that I don't usually play around with, so Janis, give me strength. Oh, okay, yeah, I'm loving this. I'm so into this. This is amazing. I think this might be my favorite character tutorial I've ever done. I like don't even recognize myself right now. This is so cool. So there you guys go. I hope you enjoyed this character tutorial. Let me know in the comments down below which tutorials you want to see next, whether they're character tutorials, Halloween tutorials, regular makeup tutorials. I don't know, hit me up. Happy October 3rd. Again, if you're new here, hit subscribe to join the Theater Thursday fam. I hope you guys are having a great day. I love you so, so much. Break a leg, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!